Hello, Real Producers. This is Kristin, Brindley, your publisher, and I am here with our September cover story for DC Metro Real Producers. Lee, it's so much a pleasure to have you with us.
Well, it's a pleasure to be with you again. Absolutely.
So Lee Murphy is with Washington Fine Properties. If you haven't checked out the cover story, definitely check it out. And she's done over $300 million in business in the last 17 years and $37 million as an individual agent last year by herself. Real Trends top 25 individual agents in the DC Metro League area. And it's an honor to have you on here, and I'd love to hear more. You have a fascinating personal story. So why real estate? I mean, you could do anything. Tell us about it.
Right. Well, thank you. That's very nice of you to say. I actually have a master's in Middle Eastern Studies, and was with a friend in Egypt in 2001. We were trying to talk about my future options, and he said, well, why not real estate? And I thought, well, gosh, I don't know, not journalism, not I was a communications director for members of Congress beforehand, and I came back to Washington and I called my real estate agent up, and she said, well, why not real estate? I said, 2 for 1 right there. Let's get started. So I'm really loving life, with being an entrepreneur, and that's your answer is why real estate, being an entrepreneur, and helping people. Yeah.
It fits all your attributes and things that you're really good at. So what has been the biggest challenge for you, as a real estate agent?
Well, right after I started real estate, I had 3 children in less than 4 years, so I was continually pregnant, or so to say.
Juggling all these things, yeah.
And so I think the challenge with real estate and with any business in life is to manage your family and your business and make sure that one isn't weighted more than the other, and everyone's happy. Your business is happy, your children are happy, you're happy. And that juggling is really difficult.
What's been very rewarding for you in this field in real estate?
Well, 2 things. I have loved growing my business, and that has been motivation and a great feeling of validation and success. That has been very rewarding. And then the success has generated more success, which has allowed me to provide opportunities for my family that I would not have normally had. So, when you can grow your business from nothing to averaging over 30 million every year for many, many years, and feeling good about that, that's not a struggle. That's just a regular number that I achieve. Then that makes you feel happy, yeah. And that's nice to provide that success to my children, that model of success, so that they know what can be done.
That's great.
Yep.
How does it fit into your dreams and goals?
Well, real estate is, again, something that allows me to learn continually every day. I learn something new, something that I can apply to the future. And so I'm very fortunate not to be in a stagnant profession or to stop learning. I think there are some people in life that they, reach a certain age and they think, okay, I know everything, I've learned everything, there's nothing else to learn. But real estate allows you to continue to learn. And it's not just about selling houses, it's about how to manage people, or, when a person is in a certain circumstance, how to help them through that.
That's great. We've talked a few times about different subjects, and you're always learning and growing, and it's fun to see. Define success for us. What does success mean to you?
Success is when you do your personal best every day. You bring your A game to every minute, to every hour, to every week, to every year. You bring your A game, and that to me is success. Now, is it always achievable? No. but you asked me to define success, not necessarily to say that it's always achievable. It isn't, but that's the goal.
Tell us about your family. You light up when you talk about your family. Tell us about your family.
I do. I have 3 children. I have a 2 boys and a girl. As I said, they're very, very close in age. I have a 14-year-old, a soon-to-be 15, unbelievable, a 13-year-old, and an 11-year-old. And we're all quite close as a family. And they grew up in real estate. There were times when they were growing up and I would need to get signatures on a contract and they would already be in bed and mommy was up there, putting one on one hip, one on another hip and holding the other hand, and down we would go into, the SUV, and, they would be in their pajamas. With a little sippy cup that, that was probably, it may or may not have been washed. So we would go and, they would wait in the car, I would see them and I would say, hi, okay. And my clients would come over to the car and would hand them, this is before DocuSign. Before the, gift of DocuSign. But yeah, they've grown up that way. They've been to numerous open houses. They talk to my clients. They know my clients' names.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. Real estate kids.
Well, and determination. Like, well, there is a will, there is a way, and you can make it all happen.
Right.
Like, you did all of it, and it's not always easy, right?
It's not always been easy. It has not always been easy.
What are you currently learning? Like, what's really important for you that you're currently learning?
Well, a number of things. I am learning how to be a boss that tries to motivate and inspire my assistant and other people that I'm gathering as far as a team. So I'm learning, how to structure being a good boss.
That's a continual road, isn't it?
It's a continual road. It's a good
journey.
It's a good thing. You want everyone to be successful. You want everyone to feel good about their job and their day and what they're doing. So yes, you want to do that. So I'm learning about that. I am exploring different avenues to grow my own business through teams, through technology, through different forms of outreach. That's another thing that I'm learning. And then I have a whole lot of other things that I'm involved in. So not just relating to real estate.
I was going to say, so tell us about like your hobbies and interests and like, things that you're working on outside of real estate.
So I was just selected as a member of the board for the National Museum of Women's History. So
very cool.
Yeah, the National Women's History Museum, and that is really fabulous. I'm so excited about that. We just had a big party at my house last night for Holly Hotchner, who's our new CEO, and she's this amazing woman that did the Museum of Arts in textile, and it's commonly called textile, but it's called the Museum of Arts and Design in New York, and she's fantastic. So that museum is not a bricks and mortar museum yet, but we hope on the 100th anniversary of the women's right to vote next year in 2020, we hope to have some big announcements on that.
Beautiful.
Yep.
I love that you're working on that. Are there any books or educational classes that have made a big impact for you?
Well, growing up, I was an only child in the country, in the middle of nowhere in Texas. So I read a lot. I read a lot of books. So I like all the classics, like George Eliot, Jane Austen, Charlotte Bronte, all the Brontes, I like all of those. So those were always inspirational women authors who were writing about women's issues in a time that not a lot was talked about, So
and a time that didn't really support it, and they went out and did it.
Yeah, they went out and did it, and it's nice.
So, and you have other hobbies too, like gardening, didn't you? You have a huge. Can you tell us about that a little bit?
So that actually was a dream of mine when I was growing up, to have a French parterre garden. And so I bought a place on the Eastern Shore and had built it brick by brick, boxwood by boxwood. So it's around an acre size now, and it's kind of pet quality, amateurish, but it's nice. It makes me happy. So
I saw pictures. I think it's gorgeous. What sets you apart, or how are you different?
Well, I think, I think my work ethic is really what I bring to the table. And I think in real estate, if you want to get to the top of the heap in Washington, then you have to really work hard. So in the beginning, there were 70-hour work days for me, regularly, weeks, 70-hour work weeks. So after I put the children to bed, then I would go and work until 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. It didn't matter. I worked until I got the job done. So I think that probably sets me apart from others who see it as a part-time job or a part-time position, or people that are satisfied with doing 5 million or 10 million. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But if you want to go and start, regularly producing 30 million or
That's
more.
challenging as an individual. Where do you think you learned that work ethic?
Growing up. It's something that, you're taught from an early age, and if you weren't taught that, you can certainly go out and get it. You need a strong mentor. You need to, go into a situation with your eyes wide open and know that that's the requirement. There's no easy way in real estate to get anywhere. You have to go through the work, the hard work.
What do you think that you have done that other real producers absolutely should do?
Well, I think that what I've done is try to have a work-life balance, even with the hard work involved. You really do have to try to. And for me, it wasn't a country club or a golf course or trips to resorts, every other month. For me, it was making sure that I had time for my family, my children. So my disposable time was given to them, and then my non-disposable work time was just in the fast lane, working as efficiently and as much as possible.
What is the greatest lesson that you feel you've ever learned?
Well, I think what I really like to try to push myself on is trying to understand and empathize with other people. And that's something that for me is a continual process of learning and understanding myself so that I can have a better awareness of what's going on around me and with anyone, not just clients, but kids on the playground, or the checkout woman at CVS, or the whoever it is. It doesn't matter. You want to have the ability to kind of get other people and understand other people. I think that's really important.
What would you like to be remembered for?
Oh, my children.
That was a quick yeah.
No, I want my children to be successful, and I think for my children to be successful, Mom has to be successful, and that's a role model I want to give them, and I think they will be. They will be.
They're seeing the principles of success in action all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any fun or hilarious stories that you can tell us?
Oh, a lot. My children are always telling me very funny things or showing me very funny videos, and for my boys, it's generally where there's kind of slapstick comedy on YouTube, where some guy falls on a rake and gets hit on the head, or something like that. Mom, this is hysterical.
So your kids are making you laugh on a regular basis.
They make me laugh all the time. Absolutely. My daughter. One funny story about my daughter is she was in a school, and we would pass the little Lycée Rochelle, the French school, and I would say, I love going to France. I love everything about France. And so she would say, I would say, it's a cute school. And one day she goes, Mommy, can I go to that school? And I said, sure, I'll see that. So why do you want to go to that school? And she goes, so we can talk in French together, and the boys won't know what we're talking about. We can talk about them. I went, oh, what? Okay. All right,
That's adorable.
Yeah. But the best is that she won't speak to me now in French, because she thinks that my accent is so bad. So I'll hear her telling people in French, really, you have to forgive Mother, her accent's terrible. Just speak in English to her because her French is terrible. And she'll say that in French to other people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She turned it around. Well, we really appreciate you being on with us. Thanks for sharing, and have a good day, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.